I know you're scared. Yeah, I'd be too. If I were you. I know you're scared. I'd be too. If I were you. You better bring your A game. Bring your A game. You better bring your A game. Bring your A game. You better bring your A game. Bring your A game. You better bring your A game. Cause I'm a monster. You better bring your A game. Bring your A game. You better bring your A game. You better bring your A game.
Vikings beat the Giants 28-6 yesterday. Now, a lot of people are saying, and you guys have every right to say this, you guys are always saying, it's just the Giants. It's just the Giants. All the haters out there, they're saying it's just the Giants, just the Giants. Well, that same just the Giants team has defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence, who's an absolute beast, a guy that I respect, and a huge impact on the defensive line for the Giants, as well as Brian Burns, who they picked up recently this offseason. And lastly, Kayvon Thibodeau, who was a rookie in 2022. Those guys make huge impacts. And the only one that I saw that showed up was Dexter Lawrence. Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau, nowhere to be found. Absolutely nowhere to be found. Now you can say that it's just the Giants. I believe it's more than that. Sam Darnold showed up and showed out yesterday. He did. You know, a lot is being said. A lot is being said about the Vikings, whether good, bad, ugly. A lot of it is being good right now. A lot of it's good. But I was thinking about something. I feel that the Vikings may have the potential to go into Sunday next week and beat the San Francisco 49ers. It'll be a home game. US Bank Stadium will be electric. The atmosphere will be amazing. I'll actually be at that game, by the way. Hope to meet some of you guys there. But this Vikings team has shown a lot of people a lot of good things in the past. You know, I was doing a show with Paul Allen about maybe a month or two ago, and he told me that we can't discredit Sam Darnold before he plays. He hasn't had the weapons, the offensive support staff, and the support staff in general. He hasn't had a coach as great as Kevin O'Connell. He hasn't had a system as great as Kevin O'Connell's system. He hasn't had receivers as great as Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, a tight end as great as TJ Hawkinson, who people argue might be the best in the league besides Travis Kelce. And, you know, that is all so true looking back. I feel that Sam Darnold, with the right support staff, can do great things. He's got to have the right people around him. And he's fairly good on his feet, too. He's not an immobile quarterback. He's actually fairly good on his feet. I saw him escape the pocket. He had great awareness, great decision-making skills. And obviously, you know, in the first 5 minutes of the game against the Giants, he obviously made me a bit nervous. But I changed my opinion on him pretty quickly. He is balling. He showed up and showed out. There's nothing anyone can do or say to change that. Sam Darnold is Sam Darnold. But that Sam Darnold that we saw yesterday, that is a different Sam Darnold who I hope to see again and again and again. He is an uncommon Sam Darnold who I've grown hope for over the past day. In the past 24 hours, my hope for Sam Darnold has gone up. And I hope it stays this way. He's still got quite a bit to prove. But as of right now, I'm seeing a lot in him. A lot. His stats after week 1, he had a 79.2 completion percentage with 208 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. And he had an 113.2 passer rating, which, by the way, is 5th in the NFL. 5th among all quarterbacks, at least in week 1. And his completion rating was 3rd. This guy is getting ratings and stats that are in the top 5 in the NFL. You can't tell me he's not a good quarterback after what I saw. You can't tell me that. And to switch over, the defensive side of the ball, you have Brian Flores, who has been building this defensive team up to its top, up to its peak with potential. Guys like Ivan Pace Jr., Dallas Turner, Jonathan Grenard, Andrew Van Ginkel, all these playmakers. Of course, you can't forget Josh Metellus, who last year played 13 positions and aced all of them. You also can't forget Cameron Bynum, who against the Niners last year has had 9 tackles, 2 interceptions, and a forced fumble, who I think is also headed for a great game. One of these days in the season, one of these games, he's going to absolutely just have a breakout game. Absolutely, I believe it. And he's facing a possible extension this season as well. At the end of the year, I think the Vikings very well should pay Cameron Bynum his rightful money that he deserves. Because Cam Bynum is one of those guys that doesn't need all the media hype to play at his best. He is a guy who goes in day after day, goes into that facility, and it gives it his all, gives it his best. Cameron Bynum has earned my respect since 2021 when he had that sack against Justin Herbert in Week 10 against the Chargers in SoFi Stadium. There was also another thing where you have Cameron Bynum in Week 9 of that same season against the Ravens. Lamar Jackson was the guy he was playing against. That didn't matter to Cam. He got an interception against Lamar Jackson. When you're a rookie safety in the NFL in that time, that is a difficult thing to do. Lamar Jackson was playing at his best. Remember, that was the same year that he beat Patrick Mahomes. And Cameron Bynum, I don't think Cam cares who he's playing because he's going to ball out every single time. He's going to have that great performance. That I can trust in him. And now on the offensive side of the ball, I don't know, Vikings fans, if we understand how truly refreshing it is to finally have a running game. When was the last time we saw someone so good in the number 33 on this team? Dalvin Cook. In 2020 and before that, all the times before that, since Dalvin's rookie year, most of the offensive explosions have been because of him. He's been the reason why our offense has progressed so much and has been doing amazing during those times. But now, that shifted to Justin Jefferson, and that might just shift to Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is an explosive runner. I don't know what Packers fans were talking about. Packers fans, I don't understand them because Aaron Jones is not washed. I guess Packers fans love to insult their players when the Vikings pick them up, when they go to a better team. I guess Packers fans hate it when their players go to a better team. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say about that. But Aaron Jones is a guy who is easily very likable on and off the field. He has 16 touches on the ball, 109 yards, and a touchdown. It feels so refreshing to know that we finally have a running game again. That is a refreshment. One of the biggest refreshments besides Sam Darnold's performance that we've had as Vikings fans. Remember, Kevin O'Connell, he didn't abandon the run. He kept it going because he knew that we needed to salt the game away. We didn't want to give the ball back to Daniel Jones too much. And when he did get the ball back at times, our defense made the stops. He had 0 touchdowns that game. 0 touchdowns. None passing, none running. That is the Brian Flores effect. The Kevin O'Connell effect is sticking with the run and trusting Sam Darnold whenever he needs to. That is what I love to see. I absolutely love to see that. That is absolutely amazing from both sides of the ball. And no side had to rely on the other to make things better because one side sucked. No, both sides held their ground. They stood their ground against a Giants team that I cannot believe people thought were going to beat the Minnesota Vikings. I can't believe that. I do believe, though, that Sam Darnold is headed for a ball-out year, and that'll be a lot for J.J. McCarthy to learn from. I can't wait to see McCarthy next season. That's going to be something to definitely watch out for. But for right now, Sam Darnold is our guy, and will be the savior for the Minnesota Vikings. Um, and I think Sam Darnold does have the potential to beat the San Francisco 49ers next season. I mean, next week. My apologies. But the thing is, when you're playing the Niners, there are lots of important things to watch out for. Kyle Shanahan is a brilliant coach, aside from all of his Super Bowl losses where he had the lead in. But Kyle Shanahan is a guy that a lot of people have a lot of respect for. He's a guy who, he's very smart. He knows his stuff, and he's a coach who knows all the important parts of the game, and a coach who benefits off of his knowledge and the great players that he has. He's got Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, who actually might miss this game against the Vikings coming up on Sunday, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and so many more offensive weapons, including George Kittle. George Kittle, by the way, an amazing guy, such a funny guy. Absolutely love George Kittle. I feel that this will be a tough Niners team, but we got Justin Jefferson. And I know there's a chance that we might not have Jordan Addison because of his ankle soreness. He had another ankle injury against the Giants. You do not want to rush Addison in. But you know what I think? I think that what Jordan Addison did to the Niners last season is something Jalen Nailor could do to the Niners this season in this upcoming game. I think Jalen Nailor could be the one to snatch the ball away from Charvarius Ward or to have those long touchdowns, because Jalen Nailor is pretty much as explosive as Jordan Addison is. So there's a possibility. There are many possibilities. But we have our best receiver back. So both teams will be at full strength besides the Niners possibly losing Christian McCaffrey. And I would love to see the Niners not at full strength. Obviously, I don't want injuries on anyone, but I don't want to see the Niners at full strength just absolutely running it down our throats. But I don't think that'll happen. I think Brian Flores will cook something up and make something happen for us to win this game, as well as the offense with Kevin O'Connell. The good team, the coaching staff, everyone will definitely help this team go very far. And by the way, the top PFF grades, PFF, by the way, means Pro Football Focus, the top 5 PFF grades from week 1. So on the offense, you have left guard Blake Brandel, 91.2 PFF grade. Running back Aaron Jones, 90.9 PFF grade. Quarterback Sam Darnold with an 88.1 PFF grade, which was higher than any other quarterback in the NFL in week 1. Even higher than Patrick Mahomes himself. Sam Darnold, with at least a decent support staff, will have the highest PFF grade in the NFL among all quarterbacks in week 1. And he did. And when the Vikings win the turnover battle, or at least tie it, they win games. It is shown with Kevin O'Connell and the rest of the team. And on the right tackle, Brian O'Neill with an 85.9 PFF grade. Left tackle Christian Darrisaw with a 79.4 PFF grade. All these players are showing you how skillful they are and how they'll progress. And that, to me, is something that the Vikings will really benefit from. On the defense, Andrew Van Ginkel, who, by the way, oh my gosh, Andrew Van Ginkel, that was one of the quickest, fastest interceptions I've ever seen. Do you guys remember when Jack Jones got that pick against the Chargers? It was like that fast, but Jack Jones had nothing on that kind of pick. Andrew Van Ginkel looked absolutely amazing. The way he snatched the ball out of the air, that was incredible. 90.6 PFF grade for him. Harrison Smith, by the way, congrats. He finally got his 35th career interception in the NFL, which I believe is the highest among all safeties. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he had a 90.4 PFF grade. Linebacker Ivan Pace Jr., who was right, by the way, playing against the Giants would not be a hard matchup or even a matchup at all. It'd be a breeze, and it was. Ivan Pace Jr., 82.2 PFF grade. Harrison Phillips, 80.3 PFF grade. Josh Metellus, 80.2 PFF grade. I love Joshua Metellus, man. He's an outstanding, explosive player, and a guy who opposing offenses will not see the last of him. He will continue to be out there and performing well and being Mr. No Excuses, Mr. Everything, Mr. Do It all the names you want for him. That's absolutely awesome about Josh Metellus. So, lastly, I know Justin Jefferson had only 59 yards in that game against the Giants, but they were still dominant because arguably his touchdown that he had was a big momentum builder, and that really helped the Vikes going forward in that game. They continued and continued and continued to score. It's in the theme song. It's in the theme song too. You know, they say, "Skol Vikings, run up the score. You'll hear us yell for more." It's in the theme song. It's in the theme song. You have to run up the score. Keep on scoring. Never pump the brakes. That's something Kevin O'Connell needs to hear continuously. Never pump the brakes. Never slow down, especially against a team like San Francisco that you're going up against. But I have full trust, full faith in Kevin O'Connell and the rest of the guys. And by the way, Vikings former kick returner Kene Nwangwu was signed to the Jets practice squad. Lewis Cine, by the way, is a Buffalo Bill, not a New York Jet. I got that wrong. But, you know, it is what it is. Lewis Cine, we had to move on. I'm sorry, but we kind of had to. So, yeah, he's a Buffalo Bill. And, you know, I wish him all the best there. Buffalo is one of the teams that I respect. So, I'm wishing some good luck to the entire Vikings support staff, the entire Vikings team, everyone who's been performing well, everyone who has room for improvement, including Ed Ingram, by the way. Ed Ingram had the lowest PFF grade. Like it was a 9-point-something PFF grade. I could not believe what I saw. I could not believe my eyes. But this team has hope. This team has grit. This team is tough. This is a Vikings team that is uncommon. I know the next 4 games we play the Niners, the Texans, and the Packers, and the Jets. But I could see us going either 2-2, 3-1, or 4-0 in that 4-game stretch. We can beat the Niners. We could even beat the Texans. Now we're playing the Packers in Green Bay. At least we're not playing them in early January or December, because that's when it gets really cold up there. But yeah, we could definitely beat the Niners. We could beat the Texans. That'll be kind of difficult. Stephon Diggs returning to Minnesota, though, that'd be pretty cool. Stephon Diggs finally returns to his first NFL team in that stadium, so that's gonna be pretty cool to see. But I heard he was already complaining on week 1, which is why I'm glad we don't have a wide receiver who complains a lot like Stephon Diggs does. I'm glad we got Justin Jefferson instead. We play in Green Bay. I think we're gonna win that game. Aaron Jones will go off on the Packers, and the Jets in London. That'll be a win. We never lose in London. We should have played the Jets at home, though, so we could boo Aaron Rodgers at home. But, you know, it is what it is. We're still going to have a very, very good season, and I just can't wait for more greatness. I cannot wait for more greatness. And, yeah, I mean, I love this team. Love everything about this team. How electrifying they are, how great their fan base is, the state of Minnesota, everything, just absolute greatness. Chef's kiss to this team. But yeah, that'll be about it. Sam Darnold, looking to see you more and more. Let's go into Minnesota and beat the 49ers right there in our home. We'll be playing at home, so we got the advantage. The Niners may not have Christian McCaffrey, and if they do, he might not be at full strength, but bring it on. I believe in our front, on offense and defense. Skol Vikes.
I know you're scared. Yeah, I do too. If I were you. I know you're scared. I do too. If I were you. You